Hello everyone, welcome to part 5 of Human Gladiator. Here at Ultraviolent 4, we're playing a paladin run. In the last episode we cleared the lair of beasts, and we now find ourselves standing at the entrance to the Orcish mines. The Orcish mines have become a hive of villainy. I hear that they're worshipping a false god in there, called Beer. And what's worse, Beer, you'll recall, is the god who tried to take us down in the early game. He sent orc warriors, he created a shaft that tried to make us miss an ossuary. We had hordes of orc warriors and even multiple orc priests. So I told you earlier that I'd be gaining revenge over Beer in this life or the next. And now it is time. We must cleanse the orcish minds of the evil. I know that I must do what's right, as sure as Kilimanjaro rises like Olympus above the Serengeti. Can't do it. No, okay. Alright, I can't continue that anymore. Alright, so the Orcish mines. What's quite good for us heading into here is that we have a plate armor with MR on it. So a thing you need to be extremely afraid of whenever you're going into Orc is being paralyzed by Orc sorcerers. I mean, it would also be decent to have the chainmail of fire resistance because they can do balls of fires, but it's the paralysis that you're really worried about. So that will help us in there. We've also got digging, which is nice. We can dig kill holes. And last but not least, perhaps even most important, we have the ability with 3% failure to summon divine warriors. So as long as I remember to do that and we don't get paralyzed to death, I think we should be pretty fine in here. Let's go. Let's cleanse the Orcish mines. We feel a wave of frost passing over us. So I don't know if you saw this near the end of the last one, but I foolishly made us fight an ice dragon, and I said that I would carry the ice dragon scales with us for the simple reason that we might be coming across an ice cave in the near future. And look at that, wouldn't you know it? Calling it again. It's this level of high play that you come for, I know. So we didn't have any magic mapping. Okay, well, we're going to try to find it. Can be a bit difficult to find portals on Orc 1 because they can be split, but if we're lucky and if we pay attention to any messages, we might be able to get it. Where are you, troll? Come at me. We one-shot it with the great sword. Fantastic. I don't want to put the ice dragon scales on yet. Well, it would be nice to have it on in preparation. As I just talked about, Orc sorcerers have bolts of fire, so I don't want to be susceptible to fire. And then we'd also be more likely to get paralyzed anyway. Okay, well, never mind, we found it. It's here. This is going to be an entrance with just white imps, which is okay. If it were one of the entrances that, say, had an ice dragon in it, or ice devils, then I'd want to switch. Oh, we're getting sandwiched here. I'm actually going to go back up. Alright, so this is a bit unfortunate. It was looking quite comfortable that we'd get in, but now that I still think we're going to get in, but this is a bit harder. What's really nice is every time we kill one of these imps, the shining one is healing us. No. Yeah, I was thinking we could also cleansing flame all of that stuff, but I'm not too afraid. They're all fairly petty enemies. Except for the troll. Alright, let's eat that. Alright, good. And before we go in, we're going to switch to the ice dragon scales. With the exception of necromancers, which you can sometimes get in here, you're never going to meet any fire damage in an ice cave, so being susceptible to fire is not a big deal. Alright, and we got a fairly standard one. Not that we care because we're already on full piety, but in some forms of ice caves you'll be meeting a lot of evil things, so ice devils, freezing race, etc. So, like many other places we've been, ice cave is very good for TSO piety. I'm just going to be patient here. I declined to pick up javelins earlier in the game, but if I did have them, we could throw them at the ice statue. They don't regenerate HP though, so you can always take your time. You can hurt them a bit, you can stand at the edge of line of sight and throw things, and you'll eventually kill it. I don't care about any staves. Oh, maybe I do. Staff of Air is one potential way to get Aralek. We have our poison already, so that's not too exciting. Wait, do I not have our poison? Why do I think I have it? Ah, because it's on our amulet. Okay, good. I was thinking we have an our poison ring, but I'm not wearing it. I'm wearing a ring of flight instead. But now it makes sense. Alright. I shouldn't be so afraid. I can just auto-explore. I don't know why I'm manually exploring right now. I think because our early game was so hard that I just got in the habit of doing it. We should be just fine in here. I'm going to do /- to look at the scrolls that we don't know. Holy Word, Silence, Torment. Alright. With Torment we're not allowed to use and is not very useful for us anyway. Silence is good and Holy Word, I don't know, it's kind of like Cleansing Flame. But the point is there are no scrolls that I really want to read there. I'd rather just wait. Oh, that's it. It's Torment. Okay, well we need to drop it now. If we read it with the without knowing what it was, the Shining One would forgive us. But as soon as we've discovered it, if we read that, we'll be in trouble. Not really afraid of Death Yaks. We fought lots of those in Lair. We do a lot of damage when our Greatsword connects. And what's our end boss going to be? Could be a Fiend. If it's a Fiend, I think for something that evil, I think as a Paladin we'd be willing to use a throwing net and then fight it to death. Because if it's a Fiend, surely no tactics would be dishonorable against something like that. I don't really want to fight him standing in the water. I also shouldn't be fighting him there, potentially standing in the freezing cloud. I don't know. Oh, I should evoke my Ring of Flight. That's what I should have done. And then I wouldn't have a penalty. I think this is a Fiend ending. Oh, no, sometimes this is a Frost Giant one. We'll see. If it is the Frost Giant ending, Curare Needles would be extremely useful against it. But of course we're not doing that. We threw our blowgun into the deep water. It is a Frost Giant. So how do we deal with that? We have 8 agility. You know what? We have 2 pips of RC right now. I think if I just quaff an agility, we use a Divine Shield. I'm pretty sure we can just beat a Frost Giant. And if we can't, we have 9 potions of heal wounds. Alright, so I'm going to Agi. Brings our EV from 12 to 18. And then when the Frost Giant comes, we'll Divine Shield. I could also acid him to drop his AC, but I probably don't need to. And I've only got 1 left, so I kind of want to keep it. So we've now got 11 shield. Oh, he's sitting back there. Maybe I should throw the acid. If I pass a turn to wait for him to come at us, he might just sit back there and shoot us with bolts of cold. Yeah, I think it's okay. I'm just gonna wait. He stepped in. Good. Calculated. Alright, and let's not spam this tab button too hard. A downside for us is that our greatsword of freezing isn't going to do too much against the frost giant because he's very resistant to cold, and that quite hurt whatever he did. It was a bolt of cold. No, the bolt of cold missed. It was hitting us with the battle axe of freezing. We didn't dodge it or block it. It's unfortunate. That was a bolt of cold. He's nearly dead though. I think we're okay. Still taking this slowly. At this point, it's getting a bit scary. So he can do 35 damage plus his battle axe of freezing. He's not going to hit us in one more go. So I'm going to try to finish him off. And then if he hits us again, we're going to heal wounds. Alright, we got him. Again, calculated. Alright, that was fine. And let's see what we get. We have an Arbalest of freezing, battle axe of freezing, phantom mirror, some rings, a longbow of freezing, which I'm going to pick up because that's interesting. Which would I prefer? If we're going to use a two-handed, that's a rune longsword. We should test that out too. But if we're going to use a two-handed ranged option, we could use the Arbalest or the longbow. Why don't we just wield them? +1 and... Oh, this is a +2 longsword of Elec. Okay, I didn't mean to do that one, but that's also really good. And a +5 longbow. Alright, it's going to be the longbow of the Arbalest in that case. And we already know we dropped our arrows. That's okay. We'll bring the Arbalest out too. So... we're not going to be longbowing things anytime soon, if we even will, but I may as well bring it out of the ice cave, otherwise it's going to be lost forever. And I should have switched out armors before I stepped back out. That's a mistake, because while I'm doing this, enemies might turn up. They did not. Alright, let's test out other stuff. We may as well drop the +1 longsword. If we're going to go one-handed for some reason, which I don't think we will, because we're already up to 17 long blades, I'd rather go the longsword of Elec than a plain longsword. Just in case you couldn't tell. I mean, the scimitar would be better anyway. We'll drop the Arbalest too. We'll make a little stash out here. We can probably drop the Ice Dragon scales now that we just did the Ice Cave. That's why we're carrying it. And let's test our rings. A ring of ice. Yeah, may as well carry it. It's a way to get RC in a pinch. And this ring is also ice. It's a corrode ring. It's got slay +3, a bit of int and a bit of dex. We can't afford to use this. And even if we could get over the susceptibility to fire, having the corrode for slay +3 is maybe okay. I'm just gonna drop this. Not a huge fan of that ring, as nice as extra slaying is. If it would just, say we got rid of the ice part and it was just corrode and the other stuff, I might consider wearing it. But the ice as well just makes it too hard. On we go. Here's our first Orc Sorcerer. If we XV it, it's only a 13% chance to paralyze us. Although I definitely don't want to fight two at once. But good to know that it's this low. That's a bolt of fire. I'm just going to go back up to heal. You really want to fight summoners on stairs if you can, because their summons won't follow you up. Okay, cool. That was a funny switch. The sorcerer swapped places with the glaive guy. Oh, okay, well we're getting swarmed. We can stair dance them. The upside of fighting the polearms dudes is that they won't follow you upstairs unless they're already next to them. What's on our shopping list? Another scroll of blinking. Alright, we should definitely have that. I forgot about that completely. Let's go back. You want all the scrolls of blinking you can get. Look at these hatches. Blinking, yep. And let's put the enchant weapon and probably the fear. We've got 3 of those. Let's just have all the fear we can get to. It's another really good panic button. Scrolls of teleport. Sure, why not? It's only 40 gold. And then there's going to be something that's 2040 gold in the Orcish Mines, and I'm going to be really sad. But no. I'd rather just have those consumables just in case, rather than a bit of extra gold. And maybe there's... Oh, we're hitting a teleport trap. Our surroundings seem slightly different. Did we even move? Oh, we moved 2 tiles. Alright, that's okay. On to Orc 2. We've seen 2 of our downstairs, so that means there is a disconnected part somewhere, which if I really wanted to, I could dig around with our wand of digging. But let's see. Oh, an oppressive heat. So we've got the volcano and the ice cave. Well, okay. So we do happen to have the chainmail of fire resistance, so we can potentially swap, like we did for the ice cave. But again, we don't have magic mapping. What I could do is just make a divine warrior and then just run around while the divine warrior kills everything. Is that true? I'd love to get into the volcano. I guess it's true. Let's just make a divine warrior. We get a Deva. The Deva is going to destroy absolutely everything in here. So this is what happens with the Shining One if you're able to get angels by this stage in the game. You can just use them to completely do Orc 2 for you. Look at this. David's just comfortably killing the Etten. I should help. Oh, that hurts though. Oh, that really hurts. I don't want to randomly die to a Cyclops though. Getting a bit cocky. Let's heal wounds. I don't want to go back upstairs because I don't want to lose my Deva yet. But should not have let all those Cyclopses hit me. Okay, we're gonna keep eating. I'm just gonna sit back behind the Deva, and as long as it exists, I'm gonna keep exploring. Look at that, Smite's so strong. Alright, there's the other upstairs, so changing which stair we're at does not help. Cyclops is hurt, in case you couldn't tell. Let me just put the Deva between us and the Cyclops, so we don't randomly die to a large rock here. This is where having shields is really good. So if we were a shield character, this wouldn't be happening because we'd be blocking a good chunk of those large rocks. We have a distant avalanche. Here's Nessos. I'm again going to step behind the Deva, and I'm going to use TA to instruct the Deva to go after Nessos. I think we need to use something here. I'm going to try to paralyze Nessos. Is it dishonorable if I paralyze Nessos and then the Deva kills him? I feel like yes. Alright. So again, I'm just going to... See, it's really hard to stay behind the Deva to keep it between us and Nessos because Nessos blinks around. Alright, come on. Get him. It's like some sort of strange puzzle simulator. Dude, come on. Just one more smite. Get him. One more smite. Here's another Cyclops. Let's heal wounds. Alright. Let's throw a puff of flame. No, let's not. Let's just stand behind. Oh, come on, dude. You just need the Deva to smite him one more time. Note that what I'm doing here, where I'm using the Deva to block large rocks, is not something you want to do if you actually have an angel instead of the Deva. It's because the Deva's got a large shield, so he's going to block the rocks. But if you have an angel, they won't have a shield, and they're fairly evasive, so the rocks are likely to miss the angel and then hit you anyway. But because you've got a Deva, this works. And I'm just going to keep chilling here. Deva's still wrecking face. I don't know where Nessos went. Maybe Nessos died. Okay. And we're getting a distant avalanche of rocks. What's really scary is the possibility that we might actually run into a stone giant, in which case having 74 HP won't be fun. Oh, there's a stone giant. I looked away for a second because I saw the shop, and so I looked at the message log to see what sort of shop was it. I looked up and then I just moved into the stone giant. Alright, he can hit for 45 damage. I'm gonna quaff for heal wounds, and then we're gonna step behind the Deva again. Okay, and the Deva should win. Again, just killing everything in here. Oh man. Well, I called it again, right? That's the second time in short succession that I've called something like that. Hey, I don't want to meet a stone giant just walking around like this. Oh hey, there's a stone giant. Okay, that's too much stuff. We're gonna step back. I'm gonna make the Deva come with us. Just so all those dudes aren't fighting it at once. And then now that we're here, oh, a Deva dissolved. Okay, so it timed out. And the end random energied on us. Although he's falling back, so he's right on the edge of catching us or not. Stay back, dude. Alright, I don't want to fight the end just now. I want to do a volcano, not an end. Go to the other stair. Maybe what I should just do is do another Divine Warrior. Although the volcano is probably down here somewhere. Let's have another attempt at finding it. There's an upstairs. We're not going to test that out yet. It's nearby, so it's down here somewhere. There are some volcanoes where you want to have your RF immediately. How long have we taken? Not that long, I guess. We haven't actually stood around resting. I'm going to switch armors now in preparation. And if we miss it, I'll be sad. Here it is. We're seeing lava. Alright, we made it in. Alright, good. Alright, and when we come back out, once we cleanse this place, we can maybe use another Divine Warrior to finish off Orc. Fight all those other things. Oh right, the lava snakes can't come out of the lava. Okay, there's no point waiting back there. But yeah, I hope you're getting an idea of how strong Divine Warriors are this early in the game, and why training Invocations is strong on your 3-rune TSO guy, and why TSO is fine as a 3-rune guy. Because it's a pattern you're going to see as we keep going, that we can just beat really hard areas with Divine Warriors fairly comfortably, and not have too big a deal of piety either. Don't recognize this one just yet, but we're going to have a bit of an issue if this is one of the wizard ones, because we can't wear our MR armor, so we don't want to get banished or paralyzed. Right, just come at me. Okay, this chamber to the left seems to be where we're going. This might be the one with a statue in it. This is really spooking me. I don't recognize what this is. Okay, so it's just ogres. That's fine. We can fight two-headed ogres. If I were worried, we'd just use Divine Shield. But I'm fairly comfortable that we can just fight them. We fought plenty of double-headed ogres at this point. Although I don't like the ogre mage so much, has a 44% chance to paralyze us. Can potentially have lightning bolt, which in this position could double zap us, or could have crystal spears. So for that enemy, we're just gonna make more divine warriors. All right, go. Okay, the Hell Knight is evil. I could help by cleansing flame, but I'm pretty sure an angel just wins. Well, angels just win on everything, really. They're really strong. Here's another chainmail of fire resistance. It might be more highly enchanted than this one. So we're going to find out. Why would it be a sin? Oh, because we're also a human. That makes sense. We can't commit cannibalism. I understand now. We can eat ogres though. Alright. I don't see the flaming triple sword dream. Doesn't look like. There's a flaming glaive and a quick blade of flaming, both of which I don't really care about. Okay, so our loot here was not great. We used another divine warrior. Note that we're still on full piety, so it's not even like, you know, you can use 1 or 2 divine warriors and then you're just struggling for piety again. You can use them somewhat frequently. I'll say that because I don't want you to start spamming them and then you come back. But Ultra, you said I could spam the angels. I made 8 of them in lair and then I have no more piety. Yeah, don't do that. But you don't need to be afraid of using it, is the point I'm trying to make. Can the angel follow me? No, I didn't think so. Yeah, okay. It's alright. Let's switch back to our... Well, let's test the other chainmail first. It's +0. So it isn't as good. Switch back to magic resistance, and then we've got cyclopses and ettins and things in here. Triple sword? No. Alright, what if we are fighting ettins one-on-one? I just don't want to mess with it. So, see the amount of damage it does? It can hit for 45 plus its dire flail, and another 45 plus its dire flail, which is a lot of damage. We've only got 129 HP. So this Ettin falls into the category of things that could two-shot us, which you don't ever want to engage in melee, because as we've learnt earlier, random energy means that enemies can hit you twice if you try to run from them. As in, if you're fighting it and they hit you and then you try to run, they can hit you again. So I am going to make another angel. Here's our third one. We're still at full piety. And okay, an angel is something I could see potentially losing to an Ettin if the Ettin rolled really well, just because of how much damage its attacks do. But our angel did win, and we saw that the end vault seemed to be over here. So this is where we're going to run so that our angels can... Oh, it timed out. Okay, that one didn't last very long. That wasn't so good. Okay. Perhaps a bit crazy to run into the Cyclops like that. So Cyclopses are slow, which means they're actually not that dangerous to run away from because they can't chase you very well. And so say you're in a situation like this where the Cyclops is on the edge of the screen, you can let him throw things at you, and then if he hits you for half your HP or a big chunk of it, you just step out of vision and it can't follow you because it's slow. So doing this, you can then make it throw all its rocks at you, and then you can fight it. And if it punches you for half your HP, it's slow, so you can just walk away and it can't random energy you. Cool. The Orc Knight, which we are currently in the middle of cleansing the pack of, is giving them all might. It's okay when they're all just random regular orcs. It's more of a worry if there's a warlord or if there are multiple Orc Knights together. We just got our invocations to 14, which was our skill target. Because I said 14 is probably fine for a 3-ring game. We got Summon Divine Warrior down to 2% chance to fail. which is, I mean, that's more than enough. And we're not worrying too much about the power of our cleansing flame and our divine shield. Although, maybe I won't go into it now, but there is a possibility we might train more invocations later. Depending on what we do later in the game. But anyway, that's not for now. So now that our invocations is off, I want to start training some dodging again. We are trying to be a heavy armor guy, so we probably don't want a really high level of dodging. So I'm going to set a skill target for 12. 12, 10, those are all good amounts of dodging to have on a character like this that's wearing plate mail or heavier. I see quite often newer players, they think if you're a heavy armor character, you don't need any dodging, or maybe 4 or 5 or something like that. No, you want 10. Say at least 10. It's still really good. We've got a potion of resistance. I'm going to mark that, but we don't need to buy it yet. We've still got 2 potions of it. And nothing else said that we really care about. We're not going to be using a hunting sling of venom. That's an evil item, we've decided. Even more cyclopses. Oh, double cyclops plus Etten. Alright, let's go another angel. We are still at full piety, which is very nice. We need to loop around something so that we can get the Deva actually fighting the Etten for us. I did not walk very well just then. I mean, the Deva can smite it, which is what's happening here. So just as we're walking away, the Deva is smiting it. Davids are not fast, so they're normal speed. But sometimes he's falling behind because rather than move, he's smiting it. So there we go. Oh, double Cyclops. Let's not die to that randomly. Let's not die to that randomly. Okay, 1 went down. I think the other guy's out of rocks because he's running at us now. He is. Alright, go Deva. Too easy. And again, I'm wishing I had a shield. It's one of those situations where you're just trying to run from stuff, you're not trying to damage them. It's something you see people who hate shields talk about. As in, when they model the game in their arguments, they're modeling it in that you're always in situations where you're fighting something. So why do you want to have a shield? Because your damage is lessened. Means you're going to kill the enemy slower, and then they're going to have more time to attack you. I mean, that's true, but there are many situations like the ones that we've been in with these Cyclopses where you're just trying to stay alive. You're not trying to actually kill stuff. Anyway, shields are good. That's all I'm saying. We don't really want books. We're not going to be casting, except maybe Adaptation or Summon Butterflies. What have we got here? Some embroidered boots. We've only got plain boots so far, so I'm going to mark those. And I don't think I care too much about an artifact scale mail. Maybe I should test it. For only 200 gold, it's not very expensive. It could be some plus 10 scale mail with plus 6 slaying or something like that. Okay. He's hurting us too much with his rocks, so we're going to run away now. Oh, okay. Bro. Let's go back up. It hurts. I wish I had a shield. We're done exploring. So we've nearly cleansed the Orcish mines. Taken our revenge on Bio. Just want this guy to be out of rocks. Okay, good. Oh no, we've got an upstairs bit to do. Okay, well before we go up, let's at least test these boots. +2 boots of flying, I'll take it. And we're going to drop the Ring of Flight because the boots are just better. There's very little reason not to fly. The main reason you don't want to be flying is up against airstrike enemies, but we're not going to see any of those in most parts of the game. Do I want to check that scale mail? Maybe, but we'll do the upstairs first. There's a possibility there might be more shops up there. I'm going to get the potion of resistance though. Oh, not that one. That one. Oh, we got alarm trapped. Weren't you marking your trap-free tiles? Is that the third time this game we've been punished? It's at least the second time where we've been traveling over a path we've already done. And because we didn't take the exact same steps, we got trapped. Okay, there's nothing. I guess we'll test the scale mail then. 234 gold isn't that much to satiate our curiosity. Oh, there are more rune boots here. Okay, there were multiples. Okay, we're testing those as well. They're just +2. They look absolutely baller though. They were bright red. And these are brown. I guess brown is more traditional for boots as opposed to that. But I like the bright red. Oh, flying's better. Scale mail, what are you? +9 scale mail. Strength -3, dex +2. This is 27 AC, 13 evasion, which is 40 in total. Whereas this is 24 and 9, which is only 33. So we're getting significantly more defenses out of wearing that scale mail. But we're losing out on MR. And you know what? I think I'd rather just have the MR. That's maybe crazy, but I can play around having lower AC. I can't really play around just getting paralyzed and dying. So I think I'm going to stick for the MR for right now. Is that crazy? It might be crazy because, I mean, if we see enemies with hexes, we can always make a divine warrior and then we can step behind it. And even if we can't step behind it, if we get paralyzed, a divine warrior can potentially still fight for us. So maybe that is crazy. Alright, I've convinced myself. Let's have the more AC route. The higher defenses route. But we got to be super, super careful of anything we meet with paralyzed now. Alright, so there you go. Orcish Mines reclaimed. I actually don't like the tile of the scale mail very much. I think it looks a bit gaudy. But that's fine. Style's not everything, although it is a lot. It's alright. We've got revenge over Bio, as much as that pains me. We're not playing Bio this run. We are a Shining One devotee paladin. So get wrecked, Bio. I hate you. You're a heretic god. Alright, good. Get that out of the system. We've got to clear the rest of dungeon now. So we've got D13 to 15 before we go get our first rune. That was funny. I thought that was a hallway, so I stepped around it, but it was just one tile there. Not so effective at blocking centaur shots with one tile. I'm wondering, I feel like we're not having any trouble killing stuff because we could enchant weapon scroll our greatsword and have a +9 greatsword of freezing. But they're rare, but we can live the dream and we can hope that we find a triple sword. So we can have a holy triple sword. So I'm going to wait. And you know, maybe we will do the longbow, who knows. Actually, probably not. But who knows? Go away. Alright, ugly things. It's probably a pack by D13. Oh, this one's just killing us. Let's just quaff an agility. It would also be acceptable to do a divine shield, and then I think we can beat it. And if we can't, we can quaff healing. And we've got plenty of fear scrolls, so I think we could get out of this. So nearly dead. He deals 17 damage and 18 extra elect, so he couldn't one-shot us from 56 HP. Alright. I'm brave. Okay, I'm not anymore. Let's heal wounds. Alright, good. Not even close. Okay, well I really hope that's not a pack then. If it's more of those, we're in trouble. Testing the hatch up. Alright. It's a good example where trying to save your consumables, you actually ultimately cost yourself more. So your piety is a consumable, right? Or at least you should think about it that way. I could have done a divine shield before the fight began to probably comfortably beat the ugly thing. But because I declined to use that source of consumable, we then had to use an agility and a heal wounds, which is definitely a higher price to pay than just a little bit of piety would have been. Oh well. Okay, so we learn. Now that we fight this ugly thing, let's do divine shield first. And then let's see. I bet with divine shield we just win. Yeah, we comfortably win. Because shields are awesome. I mean, we blocked 2 attacks. Yeah, they could have been 2 damaging attacks. But lesson learned. Just use the piety, and then you don't have to lose your heal wounds. We got bees. Not a big deal now, we have our poison. We got Cyclopses, which we learnt. It's very nice to have shields against. There's a Festibulus. You know what? I've never ever had a Festibulus of Holy Wrath. That sounds interesting. Maybe, is that a thing? Festibulus of Holy Wrath? I mean, it's technically a thing, but is it a thing? We hear the roar of battle, so turns out that Bia is not done with us yet. Bia is super determined to take the life of this character. We still don't have magic mapping, so we can't locate the Bailey. But we'd really like to get in there. Because it doesn't matter what Bailey it is. And some are quite dangerous. We could beat any of them with angels. And some of them have really nice loot. And if there's anywhere that we're going to get a triple sword from, it's probably a Bailey. We might find one, but we might also get scrolls of acquirement. They're not uncommon loot in Baileys. We could acquire a triple sword maybe? It's still very distant. Not a good sign. Although we've come to the complete other side of the map right now. Oh no. Alright, triple ugly thing. At least they're green. Let's go divine shield. And I guess we'll shoot one. Well, let's do all of the lightning rod actually. As you stand, every time you use it, if you do it in a row without moving, it gets more powerful. So even though we don't have any Evo, we just blow all our load there. And we went a long way to killing them. That was pretty good. Evocables, who knew? They're pretty good. Here's a vault guard. It's telling us that over there to our left is going to be our entrance to the vaults. Which I want to stay away from because, oh man, that guy just nailed us even through our shield. Oh yeah, this dude owns. Let's steal his greatsword of flaming though. Is it really highly enchanted? No. But it's better to have instead of the scimitar of flaming, just in case we find any hydras. But as I was saying, the vault's entrance can have a lot of dangerous enemies in it, and I want to be concentrating on finding the Bailey, not on fighting dangerous enemies. I keep forgetting we can't butcher human corpses and participate in cannibalism. What is his? It's a whip of elect. That's fine. As long as it's not distortion, I don't really care. Nice. The shining one is revealing the unseen horror. Here's Roxanne. Okay, we definitely don't want to mess around with Roxanne. And we're back here again, so we haven't made much progress. Another unseen horror. They look like they should be evil. They look like they're kind of demon things. They're called horrors, but they're not. So we don't get piety from those. I guess we're going to head left. It's distant, so we're getting closer. It's got to be somewhere over here. I really want to get in though. Oh, this is dangerous. We've got a Tarantella, a Centaur Warrior, and a Gargoyle. It's a very interesting combination of things. Divine Shield again. Is that a real Tarantella? Seems like that's got to be a shapeshifter. It was. Alright, where is our Bailey entrance? It's probably still left. Come on. We need to eat. I'm becoming more and more pessimistic of us finding this Bailey. I want Divine Shield again against the Vault Guard. We could probably comfortably fight a Vault Guard without the Divine Shield. Oh, that's a Bailey, quick run. But I don't want to be doing it because I don't want to be wasting time healing. I want to just be finding the Bailey entrance, which we make it into just. And I was about to say, this looks like the crossbow one. So again, where are your shields? Let's make a Divine Warrior so that we can have a range dude to just fly in and take them all out. We spoke earlier about how the Angel isn't the best one for blocking range weaponry. You want the Deva. But that's fine. Oh, Angel timed out. Alright, that's okay. We'll see if we need to make another one. Maybe we don't. We can use... We've only got 4 ones of flaming. It's not very many. Well... Pia is really trying to do a number on us. What we can do here is pick up these Arbalists. And we can just fire Arbalists back at them from range. How about that? Okay, it works. Even with 0 skill, it's fine. This ending's going to have Orc Knights in it, so it's a bit scary. I want to be fighting the Orc Warrior from max line of sight so I can step out of it if we take a really hefty shot. And we're doing all around the outside before we start heading into the inner chamber. We're going to meet Orc Knights. Alright, Beer, you got nothing. You're weak, Beer. You're not the one true god. Alright, I think as long as we fight these Orc dudes on their own, we should be okay. If we use a Divine Shield against the Knight, as long as we don't have a Warlord in here, which I think can happen, we should be okay. Okay, nothing yet. A Manual of Fighting is amazing though. We now have a +4 aptitude in fighting. So let's focus that, because that's really good. And we could leave here, but we want to know what's in there. I'm tempted, or I'm a bit unsure of whether I should preemptively Divine Shield. Because if it's a warlord, I don't want to fight it at all. We'll summon an angel, in which case the divine shield will be wasted. So I think we'll wait and see. Okay, there's the acquirement. That's our triple sword. We've got Orc Knight and 2 Orc Warriors. But it's divine shield, and maybe we can fight them like this on the corner, and they're going to be too stupid to both step around it. Okay, they didn't. We can paralyze the Orc Warrior though. He's now mited. 46% chance. There we go. Okay, good. We're not going to kill him while he's paralyzed because that would be unethical of us. Okay, well the plan was to paralyze him so that we could fight the Orc Knight on his own, but the Orc Knight was very smart there. Obviously a strategic master, which is probably why he was promoted to Knight. Instead of charging us on his own, he actually hung back and waited for his brother to unparalyze, and now they're coming at us together. I kind of want to do this before my bonus shield runs out. Okay, turns out that shields are really good, even when you don't actually have one. Alright, again, get wrecked, BO. Let's grab this acquirement scroll. And now there are 2 in there. There's another manual. A manual of armor. Okay, so this is an amazing Bailey. We've got a manual of armor, a manual of fighting, and an acquirement scroll, which I'm telling you now is going to be a triple sword. And just before we leave, it's a good thing to do when you've cleared a Bailey is to do Control F and then just do a period, because it's going to show you every item that's on the floor. So I'm checking just to make sure there's not a crystal plate armor or something like that an orc was wearing, but I didn't notice it, and there isn't. Alright. So again, oh, I forgot there was all this stuff out here. Alright, let's deal with this. I don't really want both of these enemies hitting me at the one time, so I'm just going to step back a bit. Alright, good. Okay, so BO was BTFO'd again. Definitely not taking down our paladin. We reclaimed the orcish mines. Things are going well. But I think I'm going to wrap this one up here. So that was an amazing Bailey. We'll start the next episode by reading this scroll of acquirement. So I'm going to cliffhanger you just to make sure you all have to come back. We'll finish clearing the dungeon and then we'll go get our first rune. See you all later.